I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit something different, and then talk to you about my classroom. And I began my career in a position I never saw myself enjoying for 16 years, a self-contained 611 severe emotional and behavioral high school classroom. I did see myself as lucky to have the opportunity to teach math to high school students. Math is a subject that I learned to love through a few great teachers at Clarence High School. And it was the thing. The teachers gave me a new light on a subject that I didn't know I could excel at, but I did. Every student who walks into my class does not share the same love I have for math. At the beginning of my career, I would spend the first few weeks of school gaining the respect and rapport of my students. I was thinking that if they liked me as a teacher, then by default, they're going to love my class. So it wasn't until I changed my perspective of relationships in the classroom that I saw my greatest success. My focus shifted from building relationships with me to building relationships with math and in that of their peers. So the way I did this was actually through an analogy of the classroom being like a football team. And now analogies are kind of my thing. Like I did a thing in high school where men are like shoes. So if you stop me at any point today, if you see me, I'd be more than happy to share a very long analogy as to why men are like shoes. So to get back to the football theme, in the preseason, players get to know each other, welcome rookies or trades, or rekindle old relationships. And according to the Buffalo Bills, I guess get rid of your best players. But they need to work together for a common goal of winning a game. So students in my experience usually see school as every man for himself. It's their grade, it's their understanding, a very individual relationship with education. So teaching a group of students to work together, who are not really exactly people you would really see to be friends outside the threshold of my classroom, can also make for an interesting first couple of weeks. So from autism to ODD, we all have to work together. So thanks to Cake and cooperative strategies, some icebreakers in my back pocket, and this idea of a football team, I'm able to pull together my playbook. So practice, and repetition of skills can be seen as like the weight room of the football team. In order to grow muscles and become stronger as a football player, you need to practice the same exercises and skills over and over again. These muscles ache after the first few weeks of working out, and that's also an indication, though, that you're doing something to change yourself. So although the weights in the math classroom are not technically physical, challenges weigh down the students often. So when practice work is assigned in my class, students are responsible for their learning. Answer keys are provided through the weight room type activities. And I often hear the grunts and the moans of pushing through these tedious exercises, but all are necessary to complete the skills camp that lies ahead. And yes, some students do try and skip the workouts, but in the end, they're really only failing themselves. So once the plays are modeled and walked out together, then the skills become one with the game as the opportunity to apply each move in your scrimmage. So through thoughtful manipulation of when to use each concept is developed over time, we assess the students and their use of their skills and how they practice the games before the home opener. So is every play executed perfectly every time? No. We fumble, we get sacked, but we get back up and we reach the ball past that yard marker every chance that we can get. So quitting is just not an option. We have to take the knowledge and the skills of how to combine them together to create the fantastic beauty of that long pass that's caught steps away from the end zone. A beautiful proof with multiple steps inching closer to the conclusion. Imagine that moment or that feeling that when you prove yourself right, that spiking of the football and being able to get it into the end zone. And perhaps maybe even a little celebratory dance. In the classroom, students handle the ball. It's really the students who are holding it. We simply show them some ideas on what to do with the ball in certain situations, and it's up to them to use each other and their resources to find success. So when you think about a football coach at any level, where do they stand? On the sidelines, we expect our students to run the plays like we practiced, and for them to anticipate the next move. We study the tapes and learn from our mistakes. An analysis of watching our own tapes helps them to see where they could change their thinking to improve their part of the game. At times, students don't understand the concept, but another student does. So I encourage students to help each other and explain it a different way than I did, or throw the ladder battle, if you will. Different perspectives or even different answers allow the students to huddle up and decide what the answer should be. Eventually, we see who the team captains can be, and I'm honestly usually surprised. In every game, there is a time when you are the offense and you can move forward with the ball, and other times you are the defense. So when you defend your stance in the game with math, you are using all the skills that you know to plant your feet and stand strong to defend your thoughts. The vision of a football team is to get to the final bowl game. And the vision in the classroom? Well, I share my thoughts as a teacher, and I really try to engage the students into that process so they can build a better relationship with math. Giving more meaning to the content brings the team together and united in our regular season games. So the coach does not stand alone on the sidelines. They have multiple staff people, assistants, coaches, and everybody else helping them along the way. The key players on the education sideline are the student teachers, the field experience students, or the observers, and sometimes a co-teacher. I invite the willing participants to join me with the clipboard of plays, working together professionally, valuing each other's opinions, and modeling the team aspect for all to see. Adding the views will lead to a greater success. This transformation does not happen in a week, and sometimes it doesn't even happen in a school year. I've had one period work better and find success and winning streaks, and another period that really just didn't find their groove yet. But whether the student is a quarterback or a wide receiver, a running back or a safety, each role is needed in the success of the team. Students can decide on their position as long as they are committed to attempting the next down. Each position highlights the player's special talents, and it's up to us as educators to help the students find their place on the team, much like my math teachers did when I was in high school. So I will leave you with this question. How can we inspire the inner thoughts of our students so they can get to the end zone so they can do their celebratory dance?